Honda Activa is a name synonymous with scooters in India, but today we're riding a rather different version, the new electric Activa E. The question on everyone's mind by now probably is, can the new Activa E upset the established competition from the likes of Ather, Bajaj, TVS and Hero? Let's get right into it. Unlike the petrol Activa, whose design has been largely unchanged since 2010, the new Activa E actually cuts a very fresh, sleek silhouette. And that's no surprise given that the Activa E is actually a restyled CUV scooter that's sold in Europe. However, it still has that measured approach that you'd expect from a family scooter, and in that sense, Honda has walked that tightrope really well. The scooter we're riding is the top Road Sync Duo variant, which gets a large 7-inch TFT display. And as is the case with most modern vehicles, you can pair your smartphone to this dash via Honda's app and get things like call and notification alerts as well as navigation prompts. And in trademark Japanese fashion, the overall UI UX is also beautifully straightforward. While this machine does bear the Activa badge, you'd be hard-pressed to say it is one once you get off it, and that's no bad thing. The first thing you'll notice once you're on it is that the Activa E has a surprisingly firm ride. Now don't get me wrong, this is not a stiff or harsh ride by any means, but those of you used to the wafty, wallowy nature of the petrol Activas will be taken off guard here. Then there is the performance. Reaching the indicated 90 kph top speed is rather effortless in any of the two modes, standard or sport, with economy being a rather subdued mode. And thanks to the 12-inch wheels at both ends, handling is also rather sure-footed. But all of that isn't why you're here, is it? You're here to know how Honda's battery swapping infrastructure works because this is the first time somebody has attempted something like that in India. The swapping process itself is fairly straightforward. You tap your keycard at the swapping station, replace your depleted battery packs, take two fresh ones, and you're on your merry way then. Where things get a little bit complicated is in Honda's subscription plans to use this service. You see, Honda sells the Activa E in India on a battery as a subscription model. What that means is you own the scooter, but Honda owns the battery. And the cost for using the batteries and the battery swapping infrastructure is divided into two subscription plans. With the first subscription plan priced at 2,000 rupees a month, you get 35 kilowatts of energy, and with the second plan priced at 3,500 rupees, you get 87 kilowatt hours of energy. With the former, Honda claims you can do 40 kilometers a day, and with the latter, Honda says you can do 100. Now this is a bit of a double-edged sword. The positive as I see it is that you don't have to worry about battery degradation over time, nor do you have to fret about replacing the battery 7-8 years down the road. But the issue here is that these subscription plans are priced comparably to what you'd spend on fuel on a 125cc petrol scooter. For example, on my Suzuki Access, I spend roughly 2,000 rupees a month for my usage, which covers around 800 kilometers. So you see, one of the big USPs of an EV, the promise of low running costs, is negated here. Another convenience factor of EVs which is negated here is that you can't charge the Activa E at home. You see, the batteries can only be recharged at Honda's battery swapping station, and there is no provision to charge this vehicle at home. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there, and thanks to the battery packs being located under the seat, there is next to no under-seat storage space here. The thing is, the CUV, the Activa's European avatar, offers an accessory top box which negates the problem of onboard storage, but puzzlingly, Honda India does not offer that ready-made solution for the Activa. So in one fell swoop, two of the biggest USPs of an electric scooter have gone the way of the dodo. And there's another thing to consider. This top road sync variant of the Activa E is priced pretty high. It's 1.52 lakh rupees. That's expensive even in the context of the electric scooter market. This is exactly where I'm stumped because the Activa is actually a relaxed, pleasant and zippy thing to ride. But as it stands today, I find it to have some issues that I simply can't look past. Part of the problem was also that the Activa E is a little ahead of its time. Say it was launched a few years down the line when battery swapping stations were commonplace across our country, and then I wouldn't have had such a tough time recommending them. But as it stands today, you really need to want the Honda Activa E and be located close to a battery swapping station for this to be a viable option.